do in this video is show you how we can take some information in a scope of services for a surveying project and convert those to tasks in a Basecamp project for that survey. And even though this is going to be survey specific, kind of land development specific, it's applicable to a lot of different real estate consulting workflows, so hopefully it'll be beneficial for other professionals besides just land surveyors. So I've got this project we're doing. It's a subdivision, so it's right here. It's at 59 Old Stagecoach Road, so we'll pop that open. And I'm going to go into my to-dos here, my Basecamp project. And we've got our 4 standard task lists here, but what we're going to do is we're going to add some custom, what we call custom to-do lists based on our scope. So let's go ahead and pull up our scope. So if I go in here to my project folder under my contract admin, we can open up our scope, take a look at that. So what we want to do is we want to go through each task in the scope and make sure that we're adding the appropriate tasks. We don't want to forget anything that's in this scope. So this process of mapping the scope of services to the tasks in Basecamp is actually really important. And we're not going to do everything. I'll probably just do these first 2 tasks, task 1 and 2. So you can see right here, task 1 in our scope is preliminary land use planning. So I'm just going to jump over to Basecamp and make a custom to-do list with that name. Okay, and we can even say SOS task 1. Okay, so now we've got a new task list, and then we want to say, okay, what do we got to do in here? All right, so we need to research and review the applicable City of Brentwood land use regulations, and that includes the general plan, specific plan, and zoning, and then prepare a zoning report. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to come over here and we're going to say prepare zoning report. Let's say research and review land use regulations first. Okay, and we're going to give this to Danny. It's his project. And we're going to say no due date for now. And we're going to add some notes here. So we need to review the general plan. We need to review the specific plan. I know there's a specific plan that applies to this. And we're going to review the zoning regs. Okay. And we'll add that. Okay, and then we're going to prepare the zoning report. Okay, and again we're going to give this to Danny. He's going to prepare the zoning report for us, and we don't need any notes or due dates on that. And then we're going to review the zoning report. Yeah, I'm going to actually change that. I'm going to say perform peer review of the zoning report, and I'm going to give this to myself. Okay, so let's see if we got anything else in there we need to include. Sorry guys. So on that covers 1A. On 1B, we need to check the FEMA flood zone and prepare a flood risk analysis report. Okay, so we're going to say we're going to make that into 2 tasks. So review the FEMA firm, and we're going to prepare the flood risk summary. Okay, we're going to give this to Danny, and we're going to give this to Danny. Okay, and again, no due dates or notes on those. Okay, so that should cover task 1A and 1B. Then 1C, we're going to have some preliminary discussions about developing the parcel, and we're going to prepare a technical memo of the permits and fees that will be needed to move through the tentative parcel map phase. Okay, so we're going to break that into a couple tasks. So we're going to say discuss applicable fees and permits needed for tentative map submittal and approval with the City of Brentwood. And then we're going to say prepare development potential technical memo. Okay, and we're going to give both of these to Danny. And then we're going to review the development potential technical memo. And we're going to give that to me, so I'm going to review that. Okay, so we've set up the scope of services task 1, the to-dos for that. So we can jump back up to our to-dos. We're going to do one more. Okay, so our next task on this is UAV aerial orthophoto. So we're going to say SOS task 2, UAV ortho photo. Okay, and this one will be a little simpler. So we need to prepare a high resolution, low altitude color orthophoto. So now we got to break that down a little bit. So we're gonna perform mission planning and prepare flight plan. Okay, and we're going to give that to Danny. Okay, so then we're going to perform the UAV flight. And we're going to process UAV photos in Pixel. Sorry, those are my dogs going crazy. Be quiet. Okay, we're going to give that to Danny too. Okay, and then we're going to perform photogrammetry, QA, QC, process. That's going to be Danny. Okay, and then we want to create ortho photo tiles and ortho photo CAD drawing. Okay, and we're going to give these to, this is going to be Danny too. Okay, so Danny's a busy guy on this project. Now you may wonder, you may be asking yourself, hey, none of that was in this paragraph, Landon, in the scope, so how did you know what to add here? Well, there's two answers to that. One is I just know from experience what we need to do to get a UAV orthophoto, and the other is, hopefully your company has a workflow. So if you know what you're telling the client, most of my clients, our clients here at Redefined Horizons, they don't need all the detail. They don't want to know every step that we're going to do. So this is kind of a summary, right? What they really care about is where they're going to get. They're going to get a UAV orthophoto for the tentative parcel map that we're doing. Okay, but if you have a workflow, let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. I just did one for GPS, static GPS network. So if you have a workflow, then you can come in here to your workflow and look at all these tasks here. And all these individual tasks would go in Basecamp. Okay? And so that's where I'm coming up with that information. Alright, so now we come back here to our project in Basecamp, go into our to-dos. Now we have 2 scope tasks, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drag this 2 underneath 1, and then I like that these urgent tasks that need to be finished, I'm going to just move up to the top. Okay, and I know that I need to prepare an invoice, so I'm going to put that in there for myself, prepare the first invoice, and that's going to go to me. Okay. anyways, what I primarily wanted to show you guys in the video was how you can take a scope of services that looks like this, use the information in the scope of services and any workflows that your company has, and then you can actually come in here and spell out the tasks that need to be done to meet that scope of services. And this is really important because your scope of services should govern the work that your team's performing on a project. You want to make sure that you don't do out of scope work without being paid, and you want to make sure that everything that you included in the scope is performed for the client. You don't want to find out the day a deliverable is due that your team forgot to do something. So this process of mapping the scope that goes in the contract to the to-do list in Basecamp is really important. And you might be using a different project management software. Maybe you're not using Basecamp, maybe you're using Trello, or you're using Wrike, or you're using Excel even. But this you're going to repeat the same process. That's really important. I encourage the project surveyor or the land surveyor in responsible charge to actually do this work. So, alright guys, I like to keep these videos to 10 minutes, and I'm a little bit over. I hope you find that helpful. And you know, in the future, when it seems appropriate, I'll try and do some more videos on Basecamp and kind of project management for real estate consulting. Thanks for watching, guys.